Hello, everyone. Have you ever felt like your path was asking something from you, not just giving to you? This is some of what we're going to talk about today with my lovely guest, Mare Cromwell. And she's been a dear friend of mine. We've been authors in a book together, Return to the Mother World several years ago with Emmy Mutali. Um, and this is another episode of the Magdalene interview series. So if you've been watching with us, you know that I'm hosting conversations to widen the conversation around what is Mary Magdalene? What does it mean to be a powerful woman in leadership today? What does it mean to be in our spiritual gifts or in our priestess? Um, and to kind of bring some of these conversations to the ground, to practical tangible things, like why does it matter to connect to Mary Magdalene? And so and we're doing all of this in partnership with the Magdalene Black Madonna Pleasure Pilgrimage that I'm leading in September in the south of France. And so at any point that resonates with you, I'd love for you to reach out, having amazing conversations with women who have shown lots of interest and some who have enrolled. And so we would love to have you join us. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mare. Welcome.
Hi, it's great to be here.
Would you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your work?
Okay. I am a Great Mother mystic and High Priestess, and Mother Gaia told me I needed to use those titles. I didn't come up with them myself because this is a humbling journey that I'm on because I've surrendered 150% to serve Mother. And I'm the founder and director of a nonprofit called the Great Mother Love Way. I organize an annual Divine Feminine set of a Divine Feminine global grid of ceremonies called the Thousand Goddesses Gathering Global Grid. And it's actually one in 2 weeks. Mother dropped this on me a week and a half ago, and I can share more about that later if you want. But I teach a year-long course. It's actually evolving. It has been called the Great Mother Love Way. It's evolving to Radiant Hearts for Gaia. I co-lead webinars on nature spirits, sacred gardening, the sentience and healing powers of trees, how amazingly evolved and intelligent and wise and healing trees. I could go on. Mother keeps me busy.
I love it. I love all of the things.
Oh, I love what you do.
Thank you, Mare. Ah, so beautiful. And I had this little ping on my heart. Like, I should reach out to Mare about this Magdalene interview series and see what, and then like literally it was that day or within 48 hours, I'm telling you, I get an email and Mare's like, I have a relationship with Mary Magdalene, and here, let me tell you about it because I've really not shared about it at all. And I was like, are you kidding me? So she got an email from me right away, like, what? Tell us a little bit about your journey with Mary Magdalene.
Well, first of all, those of you who are listening who may be sensitive to energy, Mary Magdalene is here right now with us. She's been coming in more and more this morning as I've been preparing for this interview, and I know Melissa feels her closely too. And I was told by a very gifted mentor, actually cosmic shaman mentor a number of years ago, that 4% of my oversoul is connected with Mary Magdalene. I didn't know what that meant initially. I still don't know what it means because I don't use oversoul within my spiritual vernacular cosmology. But what I can tell you is that I have been calling in Mary Magdalene for years in ceremony, starting in the winter of 2016, 2017, because Mother Gaia said I needed to do fire ceremony every weekend, unless it was snowing or raining. Every weekend, she said, you have to be doing fire ceremony outside. It was a discipline. It was a commitment. And so later that spring, I was about to lead a womb wisdom workshop with a group of deaf women. Actually, they were coming to my space. I lived in a studio apartment, not where I'm right now with my sweetie, in North Carolina. And I was washing my dishes that morning, and I felt a divine feminine presence come in, like on the side of me, and I immediately knew it was Mary Magdalene. I just knew. And she started giving me messages and images and speaking to me about, I could go into a lot of detail about that, but anyway, she started giving me messages, and one of the messages was related to how Yeshua ben Joseph could not have achieved the level of charisma and spiritual presence that he did if it wasn't for Mary Magdalene's role in his life as a sacred union divine partner. They were very tight. They were partners. They had a child. We don't need to get into all that. But that was the first time that she came in and started giving me messages. And then I was diagnosed with cancer in the winter of 2021. And I do my best ceremony in the bathtub. Seriously, I pour sacred water in. I have water from over 3,000 places around the planet now. And I light a candle sometimes and I call in all the spirit team. And I'm lying in the bathtub. And it's a really wonderful way to do ceremony. And so that winter, and it's still true now, I had a statue like this high of the Virgin Mary in the bathtub area, like on the little shelf where the shampoo sits, right? So Mother Gaia woke me up that morning, as she does a lot, which is happening these days now a lot. She's like, you need to get up, you need to do ceremony, time for a bath. And so I get in the bath water, it's like 6:30 in the morning, and it's dark, and I feel this presence come in, this divine feminine one. And I thought, oh, it's the Virgin Mary. And it was immediately, no, this is Mary Magdalene. And she guided me. She came in, and I just knew it was her, you know. And I've had people confirm, so it's not me making this up. I've had people confirm it's really her. So she guided me on an initiation. And so when you got that email from me, Mary Magdalene was kicking me in the butt to be public about, she's asking me to offer initiations to people who wish to be closer to her, to really give their life over in a way, if however you want to define that, to serve her and serve the divine feminine and serve Mother, you know, the whole shifting, growing, healing earth that's happening right now in the midst of all this chaos. So she led me on this initiation, and then she asked me to give a message to the world. And I'm like, what? And what she asked me to do, and this may blow your mind, I'm not sure, Melissa. She said, too many people are calling me in and they're not getting me, they're getting imposters. They're spiritual beings coming in, and the people who are calling her in haven't learned how to filter. So if you are okay, I really want to bring up how you filter. I did do a video. It's on my YouTube channel. It gets the most hits of all the videos on my YouTube channel. But
Wow. Yeah, I want
yeah,
to do that and share it in the comments.
yeah. But I can tell you that, okay, if you want to work with Mary Magdalene, if you want to work with any spiritual being, like the Christ conscious, whoever, I was going to say the Easter Bunny, but I don't know if you want to call him the Easter Bunny. Anyway, if you do, you better filter. No, but really, this is what I learned from some of my spiritual teachers, some of the Indigenous elders I worked with. You need to ask whoever it is that's coming in. If you're calling it Mary Magdalene, you need to ask, are you in alignment with the Christ consciousness? Are you of the purest 100% luminous love? And then I also ask two other questions. Are you in alignment with the family of one in the universal planes? Because I work with a spiritual council in the cosmos that Mother Gaia is part of, and the Virgin Mary, actually, called the family of one. And then the fourth question is, are you in alignment with Mother Gaia's highest good for divine plane alignment? And if they can't answer yes, 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 emphatically, then you tell them to leave. Just ask your spirit team, tell them to leave. But unfortunately, a lot of people are getting imposters because they haven't learned to filter. So I did the video. It took me months to get the courage. I did the video. It's on my YouTube channel.
It's really interesting because some of the things that I was sharing with you before we went live about how there can be some, I want to call it like narcissistic spiritual tendencies, self-centered spiritual tendencies in many spaces, but the Magdalene space happens to be one of them. And it's interesting. So it's like I don't, you know, I'm not going to claim to have received the information that you have, but I find it really interesting and I'm very receptive to the idea because of what I have seen. Because I think if we haven't, I mean, I see so many layers of this, but if we haven't truly deconstructed capitalism and we come into this space, especially as white women, where we begin to recognize I have these spiritual gifts. I have like way more power than anyone ever told me or my grandmother or my grandmother's grandmother. Like, and we haven't fully deconstructed some of these systems, we can turn around and immediately start to do harm. And I speak from experience. When I first started my coaching business, I used manipulative sales tactics. I put myself on a pedestal. I didn't even really see what was going on and just parroted what I was being taught.
Yeah.
Um, and I say this like, you know, with compassion, like I was this person and I had to have a wake up call and turn around and really go, what's real? What actually feels real? And how do I get into my body? Our body always tells us what's real.
Mm, mm. Yeah, you know, the way my lens on what you're talking about is ego.
Yeah.
And I have worked with a couple of very extraordinary mentors that I had to exit left from very, very fast because their egos were getting so big. And yes, they had gifts. They knew they had gifts, but they got overrun within their mind with their gifts and their powers and what they were doing. And oh my gosh. And as a person who has studied extensively with medicine people and a cosmic shaman even, if you have a huge ego, if your lens on the world is a bit on the shamanic level, then there are doorways within your aura and your presence for denser energies to come in and influence you. And I'm not saying this to intimidate anybody, but the reality is that we live in a multidimensional world. You know, my father talks about guardian angels. My father could not be more Catholic. As a matter of fact, my father's given out thousands and thousands of miraculous medals. Now, we're not going to talk about the Virgin Mary right now. We're here to talk about Mary Magdalene. But I come from a family line of divine feminine devotees. My father being a huge one. It's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Huge-hearted man. Um, and, but yeah, so this is why I say I'm a humble servant to the Great Mother. And this is why every morning I commit to being a beginner and a student and I don't know anything. And I have to catch myself because sometimes things happen. I'm like, whoa, like that was kind of wild. How did that happen? And I realize, you know, these things are happening through me, you know, these energies. And it's like, it has to be from humility because everybody is a teacher to us. And it is really an adventure to be committed to your spiritual path, to serve the highest good as I have for Mother Gaia and the new earth coming in, which it is coming in gangbusters in the midst of chaos. It truly is. And to do it in a way with integrity and humility and service. This is how I have to live to do what I'm here to do, because the kind of stuff that's happening for me right now is very humbling. And I can't really go into too many details other than it's wild. It's all get out. And yeah. So, you know, we're all on the path.
We really are. And it goes back to that initial question that we led with. And so for those of you watching, if you're just joining us now or you're watching on the replay, really, this is the question. Like we get called on these spiritual paths and we feel resonance, but at some point the path begins to ask something of us. And, right? And what do we do with that? The thing that I have found to be so beautiful of that is that whenever I say yes to being asked to give more, it always blesses me the most, it would seem. Like I go through these sheddings and it's hard and it's brutal, but it's like, wait, in the end, I always end up feeling like in awe. Like, was that all just for me? How could that have? So I'd love to hear
Yeah.
you. speak to a little bit of that. What you've talked about studying with Indigenous elders and different teachers. I'm curious what right relationship feels like for you as you carry many spiritual traditions in relation to the mother.
Well, I want to go back a little bit before I address that, and you may need to repeat that question for me in a moment. On the second one, is my relationship with Mother Gaia kind of catapulted to a whole other level when the first time I've had cancer twice. So the first time I got it, 4 days after that, I was already committed to do a ceremony with an Algonquin man that Gaia had requested. He's been communicating, working closely with her for years. And it was just two of us. And he said to me, maybe you remember the story, Melissa, I don't know, but he said, I'm going to be bringing, I had to be there at the ceremony, even though I was freaking out about this diagnosis. But he said, I'm going to be bringing Gaia's energy and conscious into your energy body, but I don't know how you're going to disconnect afterwards. And I was not concerned. I'm like, I know my life served mother. Well, right at the end of the ceremony, I heard this booming voice in my mind say, if you surrender to me, to the extent I will ask you to surrender, I will help you heal from the cancer without the doctors. Now, there's the key word, surrender. Mother had me over a stick. I'm like, yes, a huge, fat, emphatic yes. And so I was clear from the cancer within the next year and a half. All sorts of miracles happened. I could go on and on about that. It's actually in my book, The Great Mother Bible, in the beginning of the book, some of those stories. But when that book was one of the things she asked me to do, which I didn't want to do. I was like, I can't. So surrender. When we surrender, we are giving ourselves over to serve. And we are divine beings here who are meant to be the ground crew for spirit, for the cosmos and Mother Gaia, grounded in our bodies, emanating divine love, healing ourselves, stepping into it more and more and more, so that we are emanating love into a field of love that already exists. I'm working on a book right now called Gaia's Web of Love. And we live in a web of love, but our cultural conditioning is like, what? How can that be? It's supposed to be fear and lack, So the Indigenous teachers, all the teachers that I've had, and I've had a number of them, and I'm very grateful to every single one of them for all the things they taught me. Some of the things they taught me were things not to do, like we were just talking about the egos of some of these mentors and teachers. Some of them taught me about doing ceremonies. Some of them taught me it's so broad, everything I've learned doing ceremony, but everything that I do now has built on their teachings. But now I work directly with Mother and Mary Magdalene and these spiritual councils. I work with Mother Gaia, some of her spiritual councils. It's really humbling what happens every day and who comes on the spirit plane. Like just last fall, I was doing a lot of water ceremony in the bathtub, getting ready for the Thousand Goddesses Gathering Water Love Day, and also a webinar called Water Speaks, where the different consciousness of water, the mother of water, father of water, the water is very amazing, very, very amazing. There's so much to water that we don't even understand. But what happened one morning is I'm trying to connect with the consciousness of water, putting it out in the spirit plane, like, I know the conscious water exists out in the multidimensional realms off planet. And what comes in that I hear was heart of water. And the water in my bathtub got activated. I got activated. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I knew it came from a divine feminine. Do you feel that energy as I'm talking about it? You probably do. So this is my level of listening and surrendering. And one of my things right now is helping everybody connect with the heart of water, because the more we are activated by it and then call on it to bless the clouds and the rain and my drinking water and the toilet water, even the shower water, we are activating the water all over the planet. And this is how we're helping to heal the waters and raise the frequencies of the planet. So that's a long-winded response.
Wow. Oh, that's so beautiful.
It's humbling.
The element with water has been working. Well, it's been funny because you and I have been on like similar, I don't know, we've been prompted by similar spirits or something, because when Thousand Goddess Gatherings was about trees, everything for me was about
Yeah.
trees. And then when you dropped it in and was like, this is going to be about trees, I was like, of course it is. And then last year about water, it was the same thing for me. And last year for me, it was more private. I don't think I participated in like sharing about it and stuff. It was just more about just me and my own journey with
That's
water.
beautiful. That's fine.
Yeah, but I just love that. Yeah, and the water, and of course Mary and connection to the water, that has come up a lot on this show and has come up a lot in my experience with Mary.
Water is so sacred. And Mary Magdalene, first of all, I'm really getting, Melissa, you and I have definitely been together in past lives. I'm so getting this right now. This is why we're like, we're all meeting each other again. It's like, oh, good to see you again. We've got work to do together. Come on, let's go.
Yes.
And off we go. But Mary Magdalene, oh, she's chuckling right now. I'm really in a place right now where even the little plastic piggy that's on the side of my bathtub is kind of a fun bathroom toy, told me the other day that his name is Oink. I cannot make this up. A stink bug on the side of my desk when I'm finishing a board meeting for the nonprofit Great Mother Love Way. I said, "Oh, Mr. Stink Bug, do you have something you want to contribute to the board meeting?" You know what I heard? Fuck off. I'm like, oh, I'm really listening, aren't I? Like, and I don't blame them for saying that because usually they go out the window, with compassion. Sorry, honey, you chose the wrong place to live.
Yeah.
Or out the door. I try not to throw them down the toilet too often. They do leave little spots of poo poo, though. It's not fun. Anyway, where are we? We're talking about Mary Magdalene. You know, because she's asked me to invite people to contact me so I can offer them an initiation. She merges with me. And she has merged with me a number of times over the years, not related to me offering initiations to anybody, but it's because I'm doing some deep spiritual work with Mother Gaia and the womb of creation in the universal planes one time. That was really like an amazing morning of ceremony. And I was like, whoa, you just guided me to do what? And then Mary Magdalene came forward in that moment and said, I would like to merge with you. And I'm like, okay, yes, because I know it's you. I can tell it's you. I don't need to filter you. But I'm learning, and this is helping me in my initiation process because life is an ongoing set of initiations, honestly. It doesn't just happen once. If we're really showing up and doing the work we're meant to be doing. But Mary Magdalene, in offering these initiations to individuals and to one group, I did it with a group. I'm learning more about how other people experience her, and how it resonates with some of what I experienced with her. But she is so profoundly powerful and knows where we are in the Earth's evolution, knows the significance of women healing into our true essential selves with a deeply embodied womb space that's grounded and connected to mother and connected to the cosmos too, because we're conduits of energy. We're meant to be. But she also reinforces your energy field, your aura, so that you feel stronger. This is what I experience, and I'm not the only one because I've gotten that feedback from others. So when I know, like for instance, we were just talking about me being on the Washington Mall. I can't remember if that was part of the recording or not, but anyway,
Before.
yeah, it was before. Anyway, I'm being asked by Mother to be part of the end of the Great Mother March, which is a 500-mile month-long journey from Asheville, near where I live, to Washington, D.C. I'm being asked to be part of the closing ceremony on the Washington Mall. Now, Washington, D.C. right now is a kind of a dense place energetically, if I can put it mildly. Um, and I'm already tuning into Mary Magdalene hugely. And she's like, sweetie, we've got this. And I can feel as I'm tuning into her, her coming in and subtly merging partway with me and reinforcing my energy field, helping me feel more powerful and grounded and in my heart. Because if there's one thing that we all need to do is live from our hearts. And I even add from our womb hearts, because even men have a womb heart in their etheric body. And from that place, we are more connected to Mother Gaia and our physicality, because we live in a divine temple. And that's another thing that Mary Magdalene is about, is your divinity. You live in a temple. Take care of your temple. Your temple is beyond, beyond, beyond words. Treat it like that. And in that book that Tom Kenyon did with his partner Judy Sion, I don't know if you've read that, the Magdalene manuscript.
The manuscript, yeah.
I mean, Mary Magdalene, she really blows my mind, because what I experience with her is not the eros piece so much, like some people do. I experience a sense of inner strength and power, not the power over, that's the wounded masculine. I'm going to control you. It's the power within to hold a deep center within you, which is really our womb heart, and to be grounded and to show up. And part of it is about being a spiritual warrior. And a lot of people react to that and go, I'm not a warrior. It's not about going out and killing other people. It's about holding the warrior energy within to protect and to show up and have the courage to say, this is wrong. I mean, the 21 Taras, the Buddhist Taras, some of those goddesses within the 21 Buddhist Taras are fierce warriors, Kali, fierce warriors, like, with your heads, but only because somebody's heads needed to roll, because they were way out of bounds and being so destructive and negative. And I could go on and on. I mean, Mother Gaia, with the huge weather patterns we're experiencing, is a form of, it's cleanup time. It's cleanup time. These are not negative for her. It's time for change. Time to too many dense activities, too much woundedness. Anyway, I could go on because I do land healing work as part of my spiritual path. And but Mary Magdalene is here for everybody. But there are certain people who she is really coming forward to, like you, and she knows which one of us have really had past lives as being priestesses. Like, we carried that power within, not power over again.
Yeah.
And she's tapping us because it's like, wake up, daughter, wake up. Oh, well, she's giving me all these shivers right now. She told me to wear this, by the way, because red is more her color. I'm like, I never wear this in the warmer months. She goes, oh, put that on. So,
wow, thank you so much for all that you just shared. I was like drinking it all in. All of these pieces, that even that warrior piece has been a huge element of what Mary has mirrored inside of me. Like, hey, this part right here, this part where you thought you were too much, too big, too opinionated, had too much to say, let's bring a little more of that. And I have certainly needed to do that, and then have the tenacity to continue to stay the path when it looked like I was throwing grenades everywhere. Like, okay. So what a delight it's been to just share in this conversation with you. And I'm sending you so much love for the gathering in Washington Mall. It's going to be
April 22nd. Everybody is invited. It's the website's 1000 goddesses, the number 1000.net. Please send love. These people, men and women, mostly women, have been walking for 500 miles. And it's all about the Great Mother and, balance and harmony. And the way forward is together, and incredible courage on the part of Whitney Freya, who is the mover and shaker visionary. And she actually got a message. I know we need to stop, but part of the message she got to do this was a direct request from Mother, the Great Mother, Mother Gaia. And one of the things that Mother said to her was, I want you to make me visible.
wow.
Think about it. We've had the Great Father,
5,600.
the Great Father. Where's the Great Mother been? She's been
Mm-hmm.
there all along. Time to, and this is where Mary Magdalene, we're bringing it forward, girls. We're doing this.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Well, everyone, please go and check out Mare's website. We've also got it linked in the description. And I know I love getting your emails and just like all of the things that you're doing. I just find often feeling more connected to what's real, even though some of the things you shared today about talking to your piggy and all of that stuff, I was like, wow, I did not realize. Because what comes through for me when you are sharing is like, what is the earth saying? What is humanity saying? Like, what capacity does your
Yeah.
heart have? Because let's do that shit. Like, and I'm just really grateful that you show up and you share.
Thank you. By the way, I'm going to be doing another Mother Gaia State of the Earth report in the coming weeks,
Mm,
and it's going to be a doozy.
yeah.
I've done a few in the past few years, but it's time. And I keep on saying, "Is it today, Mother?" No. I'm like, okay, we'll talk tomorrow about that then. And she'll then tell me to do something else right now. So, State of the Earth, and it's not what people really think it is. I'll just leave that little hanger.
Thank you, Mare. Thanks again, those of you who have watched with us today. Please feel free to share comments, thoughts, questions in the comment section. We'll come back and we'll double check it and stuff. And Mare, grab that link for us to your YouTube teaching about the
Oh
filter.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Should I drop that on your Facebook page, or where
yeah,
should I put it?
let's put it on the Facebook.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank
I'll do that right now.
Yep. And then
Love
in
you.
15 minutes, you will see me again on the Black Madonna Codes, the show with myself and Deidre Towns talking about the intersection of spirituality and race. And later today, I have another Magdalene interview series with Sophia Sara. Tomorrow, we have Kimberly Rose Pendleton coming on to the show. So we have got so much fun. Stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.
Mwah. Love you.